For 70 years, the United Methodist Foundation has multiplied resources for the ministry in the name of Jesus Christ by encouraging lifelong generosity with God's abundance. The United Methodist Foundation of the Northern Illinois Conference Grants Program offers funding to local churches and church-related agencies as they develop new or expanded creative ministries. Since 1999, the foundation has granted $800,000 to 200-plus ministries and programs. Let's welcome Reverend Chris Walters, President of the United Methodist Foundation of the Northern Illinois Conference. And we also welcome Carolyn Cook, the Foundation's Executive Assistant. She's been with the Foundation since 1980. Wonderful to have both of you here on Different Drummers. Chris, let's start with you. What is the Foundation and how did it get started?
Well, the foundation was organized in 1949, 70 years ago, by the Rock River Conference in Illinois, and then that eventually became the Northern Illinois Conference, the United Methodist Church, in 1968. But there were a handful of people that saw the vision of the future so that people could give through their generosity to help their church long after their own earthly life was over. And that was really the vision that started the foundation in 1949. To be a vessel, a channel for people to give, both here and now and through their legacy giving to benefit the church.
There's been a grants ministry since 1999. Tell us how that works.
The grants program was started to celebrate the foundation's 50th anniversary. And at that time, the board at that time granted $50,000 to give to creative ministries of about 5 different local churches to give back to see what they are doing in the local churches.
So what are some of the good success stories that you've heard?
We've had several, as you can imagine, from 200. One of them would be the Aiming for Success program at the South Lawn United Methodist Church, which is an after-school program. What they found was a lot of the children may have had computers at home, but they didn't have internet access. So the church, through the Aiming for Success program, could have the children come there to work on their homework, to get tutoring, to help them with literacy and math, and then to work on their homework on the computer with internet connection. Another program is in the small town of Chena, way out in the western part of northern Illinois. There was no public library. So the church and one of the church members in the Chena United Methodist Church, the gentleman who was doing his Eagle Scout project, decided to create a library for the community's children in the church. So wonderful. Children could come from all over, because there was no public library, to come to the church building and then access books and materials there in the church.
There are a couple of matching scholarship programs, so tell me about those, please.
The foundation participates in 2 national programs with the United Methodist Church. One is the Excellence in Clergy Leadership Scholarship, and that is catalyzed by the Lilly Endowment. So they have given seed money to the United Methodist Church to help pastors start their career off well by funding their education so that clergy do not go into as much debt as they sometimes do.
Yes.
And they partner with annual conferences, with United Methodist institutions and seminaries, with foundations, conference-based foundations, and they do a matching program where if they get all 5 matches, they can get up to $12,500. Since we started this last year, we've had several people that applied for this. Some got the full $12,500, some not the full amount, but Lilly likes what they see, and hopefully this will continue into the future. And the other program is Dollars for Scholars, and this is from the Higher Education and Ministry Foundation in Nashville. If someone interested in going to a United Methodist institution, whether they're an undergrad or they're going into seminary, if their church will give them $1,000 for their education, they can get matching from 3 other organizations, which would be the Foundation in Nashville, the conference-based foundation like ours, and the institution that they're going to, whether it's Garrett in Evanston or North Central in Naperville, would be 2 in our backyard.
Do you think the foundation is a well-kept secret?
As we tell our story about why we exist, it's so amazing that a lot of churches are not aware of some of the services that we offer to our churches, and these services are free of charge. We go out to local churches. We do planned giving seminars to that. We do endowment. We help them set up their endowment or develop a plan for them to connect with their individuals in their local churches so that those individuals can use the services of the foundation in educating individuals of how to do a planned giving program or leave a lasting legacy to that local church. We help our churches in this northern Illinois to make that a reality so that the church's ministry can go on. And a lot of individuals I find are interested in that I am leaving something for the future and not just for the local church to use for the operations of here and now, but I can create this program to help the local church 50 years from now.
I'm a United Methodist, full disclosure, and I sort of knew about the foundation in passing, but I think that I did not know as many details about it. Why should I use the foundation as an investment tool?
Let me give you a very concrete example. So I just met a father and a son recently, and the father has been a lifelong United Methodist and then United Methodist in 1968. And he's a very substantial giver to his church. It's a thriving church in a rural area. And he knows that, eventually his life will be over. And he wanted to do something that was lasting, that would continue his pace of giving to the local church when he's gone. So he's decided to set up a term endowment with the United Methodist Foundation that will carry out his wishes for a certain period of years to continue funding the ministries of that church even when he's gone. So he can do that through the foundation, that we invest the money according to our social principles, so he can rest assured that we're not investing in things like private prisons and gambling and alcohol and firearms and adult entertainment, and then also invest in companies that rate more highly than their peers in environmental factors and social factors and corporate governance factors.
So Carolyn, why do you think Methodists should use the foundation as an investment tool? You have a quote from someone that you'd like to share with us that's touched you, and you think it speaks to that answer.
Yes. In going through the files in the United Methodist Foundation, I came across this in a report from the executive secretary at that time, Milo Vonacek, in December 1960. He stated, "It is obvious to anyone who has been with the foundation for even a limited time that the work of the foundation is not a product or a package. It is rather a changed outlook, a new perspective, represented by a fresh approach to stewardship." He went on to state that the work of the foundation eventuates in a variety of financial services to the churches, agencies, and the conference that could not be performed if the foundation was not in existence. In the 59 years plus since that statement was made, the foundation is still offering those services to our local churches, agencies, and individuals of this annual conference. In the 70 years of our existence, the foundation has proven its stability, its accountability to our clients by promoting lifelong generosity of God's abundance, which will sustain the work of the local church in the future.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Carolyn, for telling us about the United Methodist Foundation. I'm Jan Engmeyer for Different Drummers in the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries. Keep the faith.